Hi, my name is Deborah Gregory, and I am the author of The Cheetah Girls, and my new book is called Catwalk. Meow. So I would like to talk a little bit about, first, I guess, process. Um, I am an author because I have no choice, meaning I have to write. I grew up in foster care system in New York City, and my first foster mother was illiterate. So little did I know it shaped my entire life, and that's all I cared about is to be able to read and write. That was my whole goal in life. So the process of writing for me is before I created the Cheetah Girls, I was a magazine writer. So I was a contributing writer for Essence, and I wrote for Vibe. It's the freelance magazine hustle. And I did that for 10 years. So, all those articles on how to get a man, how to get rid of the man. That was, let's just say that was my specialty, although I knew nothing about dating. Um, and I still don't. But so the magazine writing, that is anyone who wants to be a writer, for example, if you could see yourself writing for writing for magazines or newspapers or the internet, there is no better form of writing. It's like guerrilla, you know, uh, working out. I mean, you just are pounded into deadlines, knowing how to write. There's nothing, you don't even think about it. It's just like a muscle. Because I have friends who are authors and screenwriters, and they are so slow. But my training, which was, guerrilla marathon running, has served me better for being a writer because it's just so much working of the muscles. It really is arduous. And it's a very lonely life to be an author, to be a writer. You're really out there on a limb. So the one thing I have to say about the process is, for example, you don't wait for the inspiration because it never comes. The only inspiration that comes is me going on eBay looking for new leopard items. I type in the word leopard and the whole universe opens up. It's so exciting. So I could be there for hours, okay? Leopard candlesticks. Oh, God, you get it? That's my inspiration. So I just sit down and I force myself to write. There's no time to write. Any time's a good time. And I just say I have to write, and I will not move from that chair until I've written something. And then I'm allowed to get up and go to the bathroom or open the mail or deal with the IRS or the popo, whatever the dilemmas are that I've, congregated in my life at the moment. You never know. And that's my process, just so you know. So there it is. The mystery has been revealed. And so now then, of course, I'll read you this is my latest book, is Catwalk, the Catwalk Trilogy. Just so you know, I am writing an adult novel now. I started this novel 14 years ago before I created the Cheetah Girls. And I was so terrified by it. It's about a girl who grew up in foster care and becomes a criminal and how she navigates out. It was so intense that I ran and I said, oh, Cheetah-licious. And I created the exact opposites. So I was escaping, and I didn't realize that's what I was doing until about a year ago after Catwalk. I realized, because the story has never gone away. And I am now writing that novel. So that taught me a lot about the process, too. That the stories that never go away, by the way, that's the stories you're supposed to write. And everybody told me that, and I just would, oh, Cheetah-licious, growl power forever, And by the way, I had no idea that thing was going to grow and grow and grow. It was unbelievable. It was just, I thought, oh, cute thing for the kids, so they'll read, multiculturalism, and I had no idea that it was going to just keep going. I mean, Cheetah-licious, it was Cheetah-licious for 10 years. So So that's another important thing to remember about the process. The story that you write first, because you always have ideas, is the story that won't go away. That's the one you're supposed to write. Doesn't mean you want to write it, but that's your story. So Catwalk was more of the same of the running away, but it's good for the kids. And you know, at least it's some information and some feelings. You know, my themes are probably basically follow your dream. You know, the characters are always people are sort of disadvantaged to some degree, and they have to navigate their way around. So I think they're sort of entertaining and informative. I mean, that's just my opinion. So here in Catwalk, the lead character is Pashmina, and she lives, you know, she's desperate to become fashionista because that's her way of getting out of her dilemma. That's how she can transcend her background. In Cheetah Girls, it was through singing. And this is someone who clearly has fashion aspirations and could probably do very well. And she's just desperate. My characters are always desperate. So, so this is Pashmina, and this is the third in the book. Tonight's the night. Fashion International High School's 35th annual catwalk competition. Lincoln Center is buzzing like a fashion apiary, and the House of Pashmina fashion show is jumping off inside the hallowed fashion tent. Pinch me, per favor, I squeal giddily to my BFF since first grade, Felina's Fifi Cartera, who is crazy glued to my side. I sneak a peek behind the curtain, watching my other BFFs, Afro, Angora Leban and Afro Biggie Bright, rip the runway in front of a standing room only audience. The flashbulbs are popping, and the Teen Style Network reality show crew throng both sides of the catwalk. The catwalk judges are seated front and center, including the ringleader, larger-than-life catwalk director, Miss Fabiana Lynx, and her pudgy Bichon Frise Puccini, both clad in matching leopard outfits. Like a heat-seeking missile, I scan the crowd until I set my sights on my major catwalk rival, Shalimar Jackson. Tonight's the night, all right. I am going to tell her that I know she is the reason we couldn't get Tracy Reese shoes for our fashion show. While I'm riffing about shoes, a mysterious pair of hands sporting a giganto CZ ring on one finger slide under the curtain and grab the lone pair of pink kitten heels. One last beat, Miss Purr, coos Bobby Beat, our makeup artist, distracting me. Angora and Afro return from the runway and join the huddle, while Fallon, our one plus-size model, who's been waiting behind the scrim, sashays onto the runway. Our fashion show is the most fabulous. Even if we don't win, we did it, Felina gushes, tightening the notch on my wide belt. I couldn't be a house leader without you, my catty crew. No matter what, we are in this together, absolute forever. I say, fighting back kitten tears. The music pipes up over the PA. It's my mom's favorite disco song, I Will Survive by Gloria Gaynor. But with altered lyrics? What? I stammer. Zeus changed the song. Where is he? Flustered, I search the wings for Zeus. He's our house DJ and male model and my favorite tasty delight. But he is nowhere to be found. Suddenly, Ice Tray, the notorious tagger from Highway 20, who has been trying to tag me with his affections all year, floats towards me from the folds of the curtain like an apparition. Why are you always checking for Zeus? I'm the one who's always been here for you, Boo Kitty. What are you doing here, Ice Tray? I hiss impatiently. I cannot believe the so-called graffiti guru who almost got me kicked out of school when he tagged a stairwell with his cuckoo Cupid notions has wheedled his way backstage. Pash, focus! Your cue is in 5 minutes, frets Angora. Felina grabs one pair of pink kitten heels and puts them on my feet. Go! Go now! Hold up, I protest, puzzled by the song switcheroo. I have to find Zeus. Fifi pushes me onto the stage. Go now! I steady myself, step out from behind the scrim, and take a few steps onto the runway. But one of my heels collapses and I stumble. Humiliated, I fall in slow motion. Out of the corner of my eye, I see Zeus standing against the back wall next to Shalimar and her underling, Zirconia, and they are laughing hysterically. In horror, I realize that the judges are no longer perched in the front row. In their places are cats, holding the House of Pashmina programs in their paws and hissing at me. Psst. As I land headfirst on the runway, one of the cat pounces on my back with a resounding thud. I wake up, startled, as my cat Fabby Tabby pounces on my chest and meows louder than a truck backfiring on Broadway. Oi, Fabby, I groan, pushing my beloved auburn-haired cat off me. You almost gave me a cardiac arrest. I slide my pink cat-eye mask and rub my aching head, or rather my head full of pink sponge rollers, trying to decide if that was real or a figment of my imagination. Oh, what a dream. That wasn't real, was it? I utter, confused. The alarm on my cat clock goes berserk, eyes bugging, tails wagging, sending me springing into action against my will. I wish I was a cat right about now, so I could hide beneath my faux fur like you, I say, teasing Fabby Tabby, whom I love like a feline sister. Fabby Tabby tilts her bushy auburn head and meows. Meow. All right, your fur isn't faux. I'm so sorry, I mumble, sliding off the bed and slithering into my terry cloth bathrobe with the raggedy cat's head applique on the back that's about to explode into 90 nubby pieces, and matching fuzzy slippers, shuffling out of my bedroom and down the narrow hallway plastered with vintage Josephine Baker and Billie Holiday posters. I start singing those altered lyrics of the Gloria Gaynor song from my dream. First, I was afraid. I was petrified. Kept thinking I could never live without Fabby Tabby by my side. But as long as I know how to pose, I know I'll stay alive. I will survive. I will survive. Thank you. So now I would like to introduce the Girls Right Now readers. Our first pair of readers will be Jennifer and Sulima.